Sarah Miller, a 30-year-old professional at a tech company in San Francisco, often feels like a shadow in the boardroom. His ideas were bright, his analysis sharp, yet every time it was his turn to speak, self-doubt surrounded him like a thick fog. Is my idea good enough? What if they laugh at me? These negative thoughts, which had been ingrained in his psyche for a long time, made him hesitant in making decisions and avoid new challenges. She often compares herself to her perfect-looking coworkers on social media, feels like she's not good enough, and misses out on many opportunities for career advancement. One afternoon, after a presentation that failed because she was too nervous to get her key points across, Sarah was feeling pretty down. She knew something had to change. He didn't want his life to be constantly overshadowed by fear and doubt. In his search, he came across a personal development workshop led by an experienced consultant named David Chen. David is known for his approach that focuses on building confidence and mindset. Sarah's first meeting with David was an epiphany. David explains that self-confidence is not an innate trait, but rather an attitude or belief that can be trained and improved. It's a deep belief in your own ability, value, and potential to deal with situations, David says calmly. He emphasized that true self-confidence comes from conscience, is not contrived, and is a willingness to act despite challenges. The first step David taught Sarah was to develop a positive mindset. The natural enemies of confidence are self-doubt and negative thoughts, David explains. She asked Sarah to start replacing her negative thoughts with positive affirmations. Every time Sarah thought, "I can't do this," David coached her to say, "I can learn and do this if I want to." Sarah started keeping a journal, recording each of her small successes, which David calls the rungs of the confidence ladder. Next, David helped Sarah recognize and develop her strengths. Focus on what you're good at, he advised. Sarah started making a list of things she admired about herself, both in work and personal life. He learned to appreciate every effort and achievement, no matter how small. This helps her build a foundation of authentic confidence, not one that is fragile due to external validation. David also guided Sarah to set realistic goals and celebrate small achievements. They broke down Sarah's big career goal into small, achievable steps. Every time Sarah successfully completed one of these steps, she celebrated. Every win, no matter how small, builds confidence in your abilities, David says. This created a psychological momentum that encouraged Sarah to keep going. One of the biggest challenges for Sarah was facing her fears and stepping out of her comfort zone. David encouraged her to take small risks, such as asking questions in team meetings or offering to lead small projects. At first, Sarah felt very uncomfortable, but each time she got past that fear, her confidence increased significantly. He learned that failure is not the end, but a natural part of the learning and development process. David also emphasized the importance of building a supportive environment. Sarah began to interact more with Emily Rodriguez, a coworker who was always positive and supportive. He also consciously limits his interactions with people who tend to demoralize him. Support from Emily and her family provided much-needed encouragement, confirming Sarah's belief in herself. Last but not least, David taught Sarah about the role of critical thinking in confidence building. Critical thinking is the ability to analyze information, solve problems, and make informed decisions, David explains. She trained Sarah to systematically analyze problems, evaluate the credibility of information, draw logical conclusions, and reflect on their own thinking process. Metacognition. With this ability, Sarah becomes more confident in her judgment and is able to make more rational and measured decisions both in work and daily life. He is no longer easily fooled by hoaxes on social media and is able to resolve conflicts wisely. After 3 months, the change in Sarah was striking. In the boardroom, she was no longer a shadow. He began to express his opinion, even if it was different from the majority. He took the initiative in challenging projects and showed outstanding leadership skills. Mr. Thompson, her boss, began to see great potential in her. One day, Mr. Thompson offered her the position of project manager for a major initiative that would have previously made Sarah tremble with fear. This time, however, Sarah was convinced. He accepted the offer with a confident smile. Over the course of the project, he faced various obstacles, but thanks to his increased resilience, he was able to bounce back from every difficulty, see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. The project was a huge success, and Sarah got a well-deserved promotion. He not only achieved his career goals, but also saw a significant improvement in his quality of life. His social relationships improved as he was more relaxed and comfortable interacting with others. He found that confidence gave him greater motivation, increased learning ability, and free-flowing creativity. Sarah Miller now knows that confidence is not an end goal, but an ongoing journey. She continues to practice her positive mindset, seek out new challenges, and take every opportunity to learn. She has proven that with faith in oneself, any goal, no matter how big, can be achieved. His story is an inspiration to many in his company, showing that the foundation of true success lies in the power of inner conviction. A few years have passed. Sarah Miller is now the Director of Innovation at her company, leading teams that take risks and create breakthrough solutions. She is often invited as a speaker at conferences, sharing his story of how he turned doubt into strength. She never stops learning and continues to hone his critical thinking skills, always questioning assumptions and seeking new perspectives. His relationship with Emily Rodriguez has grown closer, and they often collaborate on community projects. Sarah also mentors many young employees, helping them discover and develop their potential. She teaches them that the journey to the goal is not always smooth, but with solid confidence and an adaptive mindset, every obstacle is an opportunity to grow. Sarah lives purposefully, not only achieving personal success, but also empowering others to do the same. The lessons learned from Sarah Miller's story are: 1. Self-confidence is a trainable skill. Self-confidence is not an innate trait. It is a belief that can be built and enhanced through deliberate practice and experience. This is an action-oriented disposition, which is the willingness to act and take on challenges. 2. The power of a positive mindset. Replacing negative thoughts with positive affirmations and adopting a growth mindset, the belief that abilities can be developed, are key foundations. A positive mindset generates energy that drives courage and action. 3. Recognize and develop your strengths. Focus on your strengths and abilities. Appreciating every effort and achievement, no matter how small, will reinforce a positive view of oneself and build authentic confidence. 4. Realistic goals and small celebrations. Set achievable goals and celebrate every success, even the smallest ones. Each achievement builds a ladder of confidence and creates positive momentum. 5. Face fear and get out of your comfort zone. Fear is the natural enemy of confidence. Facing your fears head-on and trying new things outside your comfort zone builds real-life experiences that expand your boundaries and boost your confidence. 6. The importance of a supportive environment. Surround yourself with positive and supportive people who motivate you. Avoid an environment that tends to bring you down, as social support is essential for strengthening your confidence. 7. Critical thinking synergy. Critical thinking is a vital tool that supports confidence. Ability to analyze information, evaluate credibility, draw logical conclusions, and reflecting on one's own thought processes, metacognition, will lead to better decisions and strengthen confidence in one's own judgment. 8. Failure is part of the process. Don't be afraid of failure. See failure as an opportunity to learn and grow, not as the end. It builds resilience and the ability to bounce back from adversity.